Hi there, pals! It's your boy Freaky Nick. I welcome you to another episode of Real Bizarre. Now, before we get down to business, I want you to check out my other channel. It's called Freaky Nick. You'll find the link down below, okay? Just right under this video. Okay, let's get into this mother. Today's topic is school. Oh, geez. School can be very, very dull sometimes, don't you think? And usually teachers are the ones who only make it worse. So, what is it that teachers do that drives so many kids in school loony? Is it their wage? Or their lack of experience and inability to handle the class? Who knows? Teachers probably have their own complicated and difficult lives just like the rest of us. Although, I'm pretty sure that some teachers are just assholes by nature. They scream and yell at you whenever they want. They can humiliate you in front of the class anytime just because they want to. Alright, let's look at some of the most horrific things those monster teachers do to poor little children. Jesus. They yell. I think there's hardly anyone who'd enjoy listening to people yell at them. I mean, you must be some kind of self-hating psycho or something. It doesn't do a teaching process any good, you'll have to agree. When a teacher yells at you, all that does is it makes you hate their subject and you feel like you never want to come back to their class ever again. I mean, we expect teachers to be polite and patient. That's the way we like them. Adherence to principles. The problem with many teachers is that they think that their subject is the most important one. Usually, it's the kind of teacher that you remember for the rest of your life. Now, let's say you're a high achiever, but you just don't like math, and that stupid old Mr. Ferguson won't let you graduate with respect just because you always get an E in his class. Oh boy, Mr. Ferguson probably feels like there's nothing more important in the world than numbers. Trouble is, you're not him. Maybe you're all about humanities. Now the problem with Mr. Ferguson is that he fails to take that fact into account. Right, well the truth is, all teachers have favorites. That's right, they always make them feel better about themselves than the other children. Favorites are the ones who get all the glory and approval, even if they don't even deserve it. Teachers love them as if they were their homie pets or something. It's no secret that they often overestimate these kids' abilities just because they love them so much. Now that isn't fair, don't you agree? And it's a sure way to destabilize the situation in class. I mean, that's common knowledge, right? Hey, how many of you guys were your teacher's favorites? I mean, my teachers never liked me, they all hated me, and they all wished I was kicked out of school. God, I'm so glad it's all over. Injustice. Now, how often do you hear the words, "It's not fair"? Probably more often than you want to hear them if you're a pupil. You know how some teachers come up to you and offer an A if you could just do that one little thing or the other? And the next thing you know is that he or she had forgotten all about it and it tells you that they don't recall saying that. Or how football and baseball players never have to do anything. Boy, that's just not fair. Mistrust. It's very frustrating when you really feel like you need to go pee during the lesson. It's a lot worse when a teacher doesn't believe you and you just sit there with your bladder getting bigger and bigger, finally ready to explode. And while you're bursting, your head gets filled with thoughts of upcoming humiliation and a lot of laughs. The worst part is, if a teacher doesn't trust you, it's no use trying to explain that you really gotta go. Most teachers are absolute sticklers this way. They'd rather see you piss yourself than give you the pass. Every school has snitches, lots of them. Snitches are great tools for teachers to find out about parties and massive graffitis your friend Billy left the other night on the school wall. Yeah, that's right, teachers have their own crooked ways. And they would just ask some of their faves to snitch on poor little Billy. Yeah, it's that horrible. It's just crude and low. Nobody likes snitches and teachers should know. There, I made a bit of a rhyme for you. Abuse. Why, you little frick? You will never achieve anything in life. You're a waste of time. People like you end up being alcoholics and die in prison. Yep, some teachers are exactly like that. They don't seem to like the idea of encouragement. They rather insult you right in the face. That's the worst type of teacher you'll ever meet. I really hope you don't have those in your school, guys. These people are just angry at you because they have a hell of a lot of problems in their own little lives. Putting labels. If a teacher got accustomed to see you as a failure, he or she will most probably stick to thinking that till you graduate. They feel like if you're not very good at their subject, you will most likely never change. And it just happens so that the more they tell you you're a shit ass, the more you tend to believe their words. It's very funny when kids who they thought were ultimate losers actually achieve many things in life. You're late. Being late is probably the thing students are best at, but teachers are no exception. They often spend hours in the teacher's room. Okay, well, maybe not as long, but they often keep you waiting 10 or 15 minutes easily. But some teachers take a little further by making you wait every single time. Now, how can you expect to get interested in a subject when your teacher doesn't have any sense of time at all? Boring classes. Boring classes are very common. Every school has a teacher who's more boring than your grandpa. The moment they open their lesson plan and start talking, you feel like their monologue might go on forever. In fact, it's so boring that at times you feel like piercing your leg with a pencil or choke yourself under your desk. It gets even worse when those boring-ass teachers ask for absolute quietness and tranquility. Maybe that way they feel more comfortable being boring, who knows? Well, there must be a way out of that kingdom of tedium and boringness, don't you think? Try asking your teacher some very difficult and provocative questions and see how that goes. Well, looks like this is it for today's episode of Real Bizarre. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I wish you all well. I wish you'll get a hell of a lot of grade A's this next school year. And before I forget, check out my other channel. It's called Frickin' Nick. It's right here, right on my right. It's kind of where I let myself loose and, have a lot of fun and stuff. Subscribe if you like it, and I'll see you next time.